Right now, still striving to reach Dr. King's dream, Madison reflects 60 years after his famous speech on this anniversary of the March on Washington. Also, by next week, just about every local school district will be back in session. How inflation is affecting your bottom line when it comes to school supplies. And Wisconsin, again, getting national attention in the race for the White House. We'll have details on a visit this week from the First Lady. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. We do begin with some breaking news out of North Carolina. A University of North Carolina official says that a faculty member there was shot and killed in a campus building today. A suspect was taken into custody after the reports came of shots being fired earlier today. Students and faculty at the flagship campus there in Chapel Hill were advised to barricade themselves in dorm rooms, offices, and classrooms. This story is still developing. Make sure to stay with us both on air and online for the very latest details. Today marks the 60th anniversary of the March on Washington, where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. gave his immortalized, delivering his I Have a Dream speech. Jalen Banks joins us now with how that speech has impacted Madison. Jalen?
As Eric said, 60 years ago today, thousands of people marched on Washington as Dr. King gave his speech. That event would go on to touch hearts of people all over the country, including here in Madison. The March on Washington gave organizations like the Urban League motivation to continue to strive towards equality for all. They seek to empower underserved individuals through education and employment.
We're making progress for economic development, with initiatives like that. So I won't stand before you and say that we're not making some progress, because we are. We're making progress on a whole lot of fronts, but there's a whole lot more work that needs to be done.
The Urban League Black Business Hub is expected to be finished by the end of this year. Tonight at 6, we'll hear how Madison can continue to move forward towards Dr. King's dream of equality.
Jalen, thank you. And today, President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris met with organizers of the 60th anniversary of the March on Washington and members of Dr. King's family, where a main topic of discussion was the most recent shooting in Jacksonville, Florida, when a white gunman opened fire in a Dollar General store, killing 3 black people. The president says, quote, America is at a potential turning point towards hate, and that there are groups, he says, who want to prevent the change that this country has been working on for so long. Next tonight, a nice and warm summer day to start our work week after last week's dangerous heat. We can all let out a sigh of relief, but some good news. It seems like this weather might be here for some time to come. A look now at our first warn forecast. Meteorologist Jacob Montesano out on the weather patio. Jacob?
Yeah, Eric, for most of this week, it will remain pretty nice, but unfortunately, we do expect another warm up as we head towards Labor Day. But taking a look at the current temperatures, very nice. Upper 70s, lower 80s. It is a bit warm the closer you get to Iowa and Minnesota, but for much of our area, we are still seeing very comfortable temperatures. Now, looking at the dew points, a lot of the dew points are in the 50s, so heat index values pretty much the exact same as the actual temperatures. And the good news is that even when the temperatures do warm up later this week, it is expected that the heat index values will be closer to the actual temperatures than the heat wave we saw last week, simply because the air will be a lot drier. So that's the good news. Taking a look at the current wind speeds, pretty calm across our area, under 10 miles per hour for our entire region. As we look at the current radar, we are seeing very dry conditions right now, but we do have the chance to see some showers form a little bit later into the evening hours. So here's a look at Futurecast. As you look further up north, you can see some of those showers, maybe even a light storm developing, and it could impact parts of our area during the overnight hours, but we're certainly not expected to see widespread heavy rainfall, and a lot of our area will likely remain dry. And then as we go into tomorrow, we are going to likely be completely dry, especially by the afternoon. Low temperatures tonight will drop into the lower 60s with partly cloudy skies. I'll talk more in detail about just how warm the temperatures will get later in the week. I'll have those details coming up a little bit later in the show.
And Jacob, thank you. Madison police arrested a man who they say was stealing packages and other items downtown. Officers were called to Langdon Street after multiple people reported seeing a 41-year-old man taking these items. Police located the man at James Madison Park with some of the missing things. Officials said the man tried to run from officers but was eventually arrested and taken to a hospital to be medically cleared for what police are calling a pre-existing issue. Due to newsroom policy, we will not be naming the man until he is formally charged in court. Shorewood Hills police are searching for the driver who they say crashed a stolen car along University Avenue over the weekend on Saturday night. Officers were called to the 3200 block of University just before midnight for a report of a rollover crash. Police were unsuccessful in searching for occupants involved. An investigation found the vehicle had been reported stolen out of Madison, and the driver fled from officers before that crash. Anyone with information is urged to contact the Shorewood Hills Police Department or Madison area Crime Stoppers. You've likely felt the impact of inflation at the grocery store, at the gas pump, but what about with your child's school supplies? Kyle Pozorski explains the effects it's having on the busy back-to-school shopping season.
Inflation has gone up 3.2% in just this year, and it's having an impact on school supplies. It's one of the reasons why the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County says they served more than 500 students in their most recent back-to-school drive.
It's expensive, and so we want to make sure that for our families, that's not a factor.
When taking a look at the numbers, it's easy to see that prices in the school supply aisle are not what they used to be. Last year, the price for red pens was $6.19. This year, $6.98. A 9.5% increase. Notebooks also saw an increase, up 4.4%. And one of the largest price hikes, graph paper, up from $9.37 to $11.69. That's more than a 17% increase. In our area, Taylor Jackson of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County says many families are relying on the generosity of others to make back to school less stressful.
Just to walk into that first day of school confident, knowing that they have everything that they need, not having to worry and stress about that period of getting all these supplies and things to go back to school.
Lifting the burden off parents, as she says, goes a long way.
Just to walk into that first day of school confident, knowing that they have everything that they need, not having to worry and stress about that period of getting all these supplies and things to go back to school.
If there is good news in any of this, it's that this year's inflation rate at 3.2% is down compared to last year at 6.5%. Reporting in Madison, Kyle Pozorski, News 3 Now.
Going back to school can cost families in the hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in preparing their kids for the new school year. And for that reason, one family in the 608 is trying to help out others. Monique Gentry White runs Mo's Caring Hands, a local business specializing in care and the comfort of your own home. Her family held an event on Madison's North Side last weekend, helping kids with all their back-to-school needs. And for Monique and her family, it's all about giving back.
We opened our business about 2 years ago. We're a home health company, so we send out our caregivers out in the community to let people age in place, physically disabled, developmentally disabled, frail elders, and we just wanted to give back to the community that we serve. So we wanted to give free backpacks, free haircuts for the upcoming school year.
And through their efforts at the first event of this kind, the family was able to give out more than 200 backpacks and fed more than 200 children. Monique says this is just the start. She hopes to keep her mission going, helping the community with a helping hand in the future. Looking ahead, First Lady Dr. Jill Biden will visit Madison this Thursday for the first time in 3 years. She'll be attending events all day long after landing at Dane County Regional Airport. She'll be speaking at an event with the National Education Association and American Federation of Teachers, and then at a fundraiser in the evening with Senator Tammy Baldwin. The judge in former President Trump's federal case related to January 6th and alleged efforts to overturn the election has set a date for trial. Former President Trump's attorneys did not get the 2026 trial date they wanted in his federal election interference case. Instead, the judge has scheduled it for March 4th of next year. Jury selection scheduled to begin before Super Tuesday, when 15 states hold GOP primary contests.
Judge, I think, largely was just not buying what the defense was selling here. I think what the judge acknowledged here is that there is a public interest in a speedy resolution.
It also comes 3 weeks before his New York trial related to alleged hush money payments to adult film actress Stormy Daniels. Judge Tanya Chutkin emphasized she intends to treat Trump as any other defendant and said he will have to make the trial date work regardless of his schedule. That schedule also include court dates in Georgia on charges of conspiring to overturn the election in that state. Trump and 18 co-defendants are scheduled to be arraigned on September 6th. Meanwhile, in South Carolina, police are investigating the death of a University of South Carolina student who was shot and killed as he apparently tried to enter the wrong home on his off-campus street over the weekend. The Columbia Police Department says the 20-year-old sophomore was dead by the time officers responded to reports of a home burglary and shooting. Jared Eggleston reports from Columbia, South Carolina.
Police have identified the student as Nicholas Anthony Donofrio, a 20-year-old sophomore from Connecticut. Investigators say it appears the University of South Carolina student who lived in a neighborhood near campus tried to enter the wrong home on the street where he lived early Saturday morning. Police say by the time officers arrived, Donofrio was dead with a gunshot wound to the upper body.
Not how you want to start college, too. It's something that's going to be traumatic, and you're you're going to have those memories of your friend, and the whole experience is kind of tainted with that.
Police say the investigation remains active, but have not said who shot the student or whether any charges have been filed. In Madison, Connecticut, where Donofrio went to high school, neighbors are grieving.
This is a real small community. It's very sad, very, very sad. It's like you can feel it in the air. It's like somber almost, you know.
Fall semester classes began at USC on Thursday. In a statement, the university said, quote, "Our student affairs team is providing resources and support to those who may be affected by this tragedy, and we remind all of our students that help is always available to them." Jared Eggleston, CBS News, Columbia, South Carolina.
Police say they were initially responding to a burglary call. While en route, the call was upgraded to a shots fired call. Next, tonight, at least 3 U.S. Marines are dead, 20 others injured in a military crash. The Osprey aircraft, which looks like a hybrid of an airplane and helicopter, went down Sunday on a remote island in northern Australia. It crashed shortly after the pilot radioed in an emergency. The Osprey was one of 2 aircraft taking part in a 12-day international exercise involving troops from 5 nations. Their training is now on hold. The U.S. military official reported a significant fire at the crash site.
The mission has now changed from one of rescue to recovery. The Emergency Operations Centre will now focus on the recovery of the 3 deceased Marines with dignity.
Another military aircraft crashed near San Diego last Thursday, killing the pilot. Last year, 9 Marines died in 2 different accidents involving Ospreys. Coming up next at 5, Jacob has a complete breakdown of our forecast for the work week ahead. Plus, a state of emergency declared as Tropical Storm Idalia appears to be headed for landfall along Florida's Gulf Coast. And markets close the day up. The Dow jumping more than 213 points. The NASDAQ adds 114.5. S&P 500 gains 28. And we'll be right back.
Get up to 60% off list prices on hundreds of items at the huge Labor Day sale at Slumberland Furniture. Incredible deals. This awesome reclining sectional comes with a free recliner. Or this 5-piece dining set for $3.99. This soft gray sofa with the free matching chair, both for $4.88. How about a Lazy Boy recliner as low as $3.98? Plus new 24-month no-interest financing. Up to 60% off at the huge Labor Day sale at Slumberland Furniture. Do not miss this one.
Wish you had help getting things done. Same. So I got Spectrum One. It's fast internet, unlimited mobile, and advanced Wi-Fi, all for a great price. Spectrum helps me run all this easily. Work, bust. Treat dispenser, treating. And since I'm always on this, unlimited mobile is a no-brainer.
Get Spectrum Internet for $49.99 a month plus advanced Wi-Fi and your first line of unlimited mobile free for 12 months. Call 833-802-4999 or visit Spectrum.com today.
Are you sweating over high energy bills? Windows drafty or broken? Champion is here to help. With our 70th anniversary sale, buy 2 windows, get 2 free.
At Champion, we design new windows specific to your home's needs. Then they are built in our very own factory, installed by a team of professionals, and guaranteed for a lifetime by our best-in-class warranty.
Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. Call or go online to book your free estimate at getchampionwindows.com.
Do you suffer with pain, numbness, and tingling in the hands or feet? Commonly diagnosed as peripheral neuropathy? Are you taking drugs such as Lyrica or gabapentin that have serious side effects and often do not relieve your symptoms? Your doctor has told you you may just have to live with the pain. Peripheral neuropathy is a result of damage to the nerves, often causing burning, weakness, pain, numbness, tingling, and the most debilitating balance problems. Our facility uses multiple therapeutic methods to help give you relief from neuropathy symptoms with no injections and no drugs. You may start seeing relief after only a few sessions. To determine if your neuropathy symptoms can be relieved, we will do a consultation to evaluate the extent of your condition. Call us today to schedule your neuropathy consultation to find out if you're a candidate for our therapy. Call today.
Tonight on News 3 Now, an alarming trend shows vaccine exemptions for kindergartners have doubled in the last decade. News 3 Now finds out why Wisconsin ranks among the highest for excused vaccinations. That's coming up tonight at 6.
It all comes down to the final drive.
News 3 Now brings you the big play highlights and scores from Southern Wisconsin high school football action. Don't miss the final drive, Fridays on News 3 Now at 10.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Right now, it's a state of emergency down in Florida. The race to prepare or flee the path of Idalia is underway. The tropical storm is currently forecast to rapidly intensify and strike Florida's Gulf Coast as a major Category 3 hurricane. Patrick Cornell has the latest.
States of emergencies are being declared in Florida counties.
Pretty much anybody on the west coast of Florida, I mean, you can see major impacts, and so please prepare accordingly.
It's time to take this storm seriously. Your last full day to prepare is today.
Sandbags are being distributed and put into place. Windows and doors being boarded up, and storm drains are being cleared to prevent clogging and flooding.
It's better to be prepared versus not prepared and have regrets.
Evacuation orders are being issued to areas expecting direct impacts along the Gulf Coast.
We want everyone not to be there when that storm hits. We do not want to find people in their homes.
Schools across the state are closing, and the National Guard has been activated.
We have 2,500 guardsmen and airmen that are pre-staged, but 3,000 more are currently being mobilized and are on the way for a total of 5,500, and they'll have at their disposal 2,400 high-wheel vehicles, 12 aircraft.
Florida officials are not mincing words when warning the wrath Idalia has the potential to unleash.
Storm surge can be life-threatening at just 2 to 3 feet. Some of these areas are going to experience storm surge well over 7 foot. There's not a person in this room that's over 7 foot tall.
These storms are unpredictable. That cone of uncertainty is just that. It's uncertain. It's up to Mother Nature to where the storm's going to hit and to what intensity it's going to hit.
I'm Patrick Cornell reporting.
President Joe Biden officially approved an emergency declaration for Florida, which unlocks further federal assistance for the state as it prepares for Idalia to make landfall later in the week. Well, let's get a look at our first warn forecast with meteorologist Jacob Madison. Jacob?
Yeah, and here is more on the tropics. There's actually two systems right now, Tropical Storm Idalia. Now, right now, Hurricane Franklin out in the Atlantic at the moment is more powerful, but the good news is that this will stay out into the Atlantic and outside of Bermuda, which it may not even make a direct impact with that area. It will stay east of the United States. But looking at Tropical Storm Idalia, it will likely strengthen into a hurricane as it makes its way into the Gulf of Mexico. And right now, projections are having it at a Category 3 hurricane, which is a major hurricane. Check out the wind gusts up to 150 miles per hour with the storm, and then it will diminish as it makes its way into land and then likely move out into the Atlantic, bringing some rainfall to the mid-Atlantic and northeast with maybe a tropical storm strength, but not as bad as it will be in northern Florida. Now, coming back to our area, here are the three things you need to know for Madison. It is going to be comfortable for much of the week, but it also is going to be dry, maybe a few showers tonight, but other than that, we're not expected to see much through Labor Day. And it is going to be pretty warm, if not hot, over Labor Day, with high temperatures in the upper 80s and lower 90s. Looking at the low temperatures for tonight, we'll see lows in the mid 60s, maybe a few chances of showers, as I mentioned, but otherwise we will likely see a lot of clear skies. And then tomorrow is going to be another very nice day. Highs will be in the upper 70s, lower 80s again, with a lot of sunshine, and it's going to remain this nice for Wednesday as well. Wednesday may actually be a little chilly even during the afternoon hours, with high temperatures in the lower 70s with mostly sunny skies. But we are going to see the temperatures warm up consistently and steadily after that, with around 80 for Thursday, so still pretty comfortable. Warm, but not too bad on Friday with highs in the mid-80s. Could be in the lower 80s for some. Saturday will be in the middle to upper 80s, and then possibly near 90 for Sunday. And then it looks like Labor Day and Tuesday of next week will be the hottest days, where high temperatures could reach the lower to middle 90s. Now, the good news is that the heat index values won't be quite as bad for this upcoming heat wave as they were last week, simply because the dew points, excuse me, will be a lot lower. So we'll see heat index values in the 90s for your Friday. Saturday, we could see them get up to 100. My guess is this model that you're seeing right now is a little bit of an overestimate as to just how high the temperatures will be. This is the future track heat index forecast I want to add. Sunday, we could also see those high heat index values, but my guess is we are going to stay below the triple-digit heat index values for the most part. It is still possible that some areas see those heat index values up near there, especially for Labor Day and Tuesday of next week. But for the most part, like I mentioned, it's not going to feel as bad as it did last week. So we'll see temperatures in the 70s the next 3 days, 80s for the weekend, 90s to start next week. And as I mentioned, we are going to be very dry. For your first warn traffic, we do have an incident on the 151 near Verona, but it does look like road conditions have improved out there. Earlier, there was speeds as low as 20 miles per hour near that crash. But overall, the 151 is showing some slowdowns, but that's pretty typical at this time of the day during the week. As far as the interstate goes, we are looking very green down south with 80 miles per hour roughly in both directions. And then up north, we also are seeing some pretty fast speeds up to the Dells. So we're looking pretty good in the interstate in both directions. And as far as the Beltline goes, green in both directions, 16 minutes eastbound, 14 minutes westbound. And that's your first warn traffic.
Wow, 80 miles an hour. Slow down, everybody. What's the hurry?
Right.
Jacob, thank you. In more local news, a new shared facility in McFarland for police, fire, and EMS opened its doors this morning. The new Public Safety Center, located on the southeast corner of Holscher Road at Broadhead Street, it's more than 56,000 square feet in size. That alleviates some space constraints from the old home at the McFarland Municipal Center. The new location is also inside the Public Safety Center.
One of the nicest features of this is actually our dorm space, located up on the second floor, but it has great visual connection back to the first floor overlooking the bay, and it is sized in a way that we can be able to staff 12 future firefighters, EMTs out of this facility.
The new building is also good for the environment. It's Wisconsin's first net zero public safety center. With a summer of extreme heat and poor air quality, we look at the pollutants that could be in your home, but also now in your body. The story next at 5.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Wow, this is where you work now?
Figured I deserved a more inspiring space. And with home values being up, I had a lot of equity. So I got a home equity line of credit from Summit, and voila, added a home office.
Took your business to the next level.
Hey, you two have been in your place for a couple years now. Any fun plans?
Well, we just finished a refi with Summit.
Really?
And the plan is to make a bunch of great memories.
We're gonna use the savings to get a camper.
Whatever your goals, Summit Credit Union can help you use your home's equity to go get them.
This summer, happiness is a new Chevy. You can go farther, tow more, and bring along everyone you love. Your road to happiness begins in a new Chevy. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT Turbo Max pickups, or current Chevy owners get $7,500 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
This right here is confidence in a bottle.
Not only does it change you on the outside, but something in the inside, knowing that you're looking better.
It makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt in my life.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Well, today we're going to see one for ourselves and let you be the judge. It's called Plexiderm, and lifestyle expert Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and you'll notice the model has bags underneath his eyes and some sagging, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face, and that's how easy it is.
All right, what's the active ingredient?
Okay, so it's silicates that are minerals found in shale rock, and what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes, and as little as 10 minutes, no prescriptions, and very little effort. Even watching the video, this is a real, it's a model, but it's a real guy with real bags underneath his eyes.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. This is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
And I did this to my father. We were at home, so we applied it to his under eye bags, and let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view, and now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. He calls me every single month saying, "Hey, Annette, I'm out of Plexiderm, please send me more. And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles. The way you want to do it is you want to have a clean, dry face. You use a small amount because it's so powerful. You have high school reunions, you have events you want to go to, you want to look years younger, this is it.
This Labor Day is the best time to try Plexiderm at our starter price of only $14.95. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
A summer of extreme heat and air quality alerts has put communities across the United States at risk. Now researchers are trying to learn more about air pollution that could be lurking inside your home, where Americans on average spend 90% of their time. Natalie Brand takes a look at the new study aimed at protecting vulnerable communities.
Socializing after Sunday service doesn't typically involve conversations about air quality.
30% of all Americans live in communities with unhealthy air.
But some parishioners at St. James Episcopal Church in Baltimore, Maryland, are getting these sensors to track air quality and temperature inside their homes.
According to the EPA, indoor air is sometimes 2 to 5 times more toxic than outdoor air.
Professor Terry Adams and her team at Howard University say these monitors will measure indoor pollutants.
Carbon dioxide in there, particulate matter or matter that's just floating in the air. It can be dust, dirt, mites, anything. Formaldehyde.
Those particles can come from synthetic building materials, household products, poor ventilation, even cooking, and can cause health effects from headaches and irritation to respiratory diseases, even cancer. How do you think your house is going to do?
That's $1 million question.
Study participant Richard Hackett says poor air quality outdoors this summer from the Canadian wildfires left him feeling sick.
I feel discomfort in my chest. I feel discomfort in my head and my eyes.
Professor Adams says urban centers and underserved communities can be especially impacted by pollution and extreme heat.
I would say that we have 2 major goals. One is to make people more aware, and also so that we can collect data to inform policymakers of where resources need to go.
Indoors, that could include providing air conditioners and air filters. Outdoors, planting more trees to clean and cool the environment.
If we wait too long, it'll be too late.
Hackett created his own green space in front of his home to do his part and hopes more people take action to improve the air. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Baltimore.
People who may be most vulnerable to the health impacts of indoor air pollutants, such as older adults and children, often spend the most time outdoors. And we're back with a final check of your First Warn forecast in just a moment.
I'm Randy Bump with Bump Farms, and this is my John Deere. So I'm a 6th generation farmer. Our farm was homesteaded here in 1846. I think the thing that makes Sloan stand out the most for me is probably the people, the products, and the service. Whether it's bulk oil delivery, bulk DEF delivery, the Sloan helpline, I mean, they're always there for me. And I've actually had them open up on a Sunday and get parts for me so I can keep a combine running. And that's why I think Sloan's first.
You work hard enough. Take a load off this Labor Day with new appliances from Brothers Maine. Celebrate the holiday with unbeatable deals on top brands like GE Appliances, Cafe, Hotpoint, and Haier. Don't miss out. Shop the Labor Day sale at Brothers Maine today.
Steinhafels is your sleep solution destination. We have all the best brands at the best prices. And with our 120-night sleep guarantee and free delivery, you can't make a mistake. At Steinhafels, we take the time to fit you with the perfect mattress, giving you the best night's sleep possible. Rest easy when you use Steinhafels' 72-month special financing. Shop in-store or online at steinhafels.com.
Set summer in motion with the most electrifying Honda vehicles yet, like the CR-V and the Accord, both with available hybrid powertrains, designed to deliver more thrilling performance and more innovative tech. Make every adventure more electrifying with Honda, the most awarded brand in Car and Driver 10 Best history. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Save on your next paint project with 11% off everything at Menards. Style your home with Ultra Interior Paint and Primer with a smooth finish that provides great coverage. Pick up a gallon starting at just $19.29 after rebate. For a paint that covers in one coat, choose Pittsburgh Grand Distinction Interior Paint. This premium paint and primer comes in over 700 one-coat colors and offers excellent durability. Now $32.89 per gallon after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
To everyone who's hungry for something special,
Culver's is the place for us. Hi, what can I make fresh for you today? It's nice being greeted by people who are glad to see you. And I appreciate that they use real ingredients, like fresh beef and Wisconsin cheese. The frozen custard is so fresh and creamy, it tastes like it was made just for us. It's our pleasure. Just spending time with family, that's what mealtime at Culver's is all about.
From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious!
Tomorrow is about putting in the energy today. That's why we're investing another $4 billion in renewables and low-carbon solutions, bridging to a sustainable energy future.
Coming up on the CBS Evening News, our new series, School Matters, kicks off tonight, and we're looking at AI in the classroom, how one school district is teaching kids how to use the technology to their advantage. That and more news tonight on the CBS Evening News.
And coming up next hour on News 3 Now at 6, staggering new data finds Wisconsin has the highest rate of vaccine exemptions in the entire Midwest. We'll hear from experts who share some concerns. Charlotte joins us in a half hour on News 3 Now at 6. Jacob's back with one final look at the forecast.
Yeah, the next couple days are going to be pretty nice. We'll see high temperatures at worst around 80 degrees, but for the most part, they're going to be in the 70s. But then Friday, the temperatures are going to begin to warm up. We'll see highs in the mid 80s and then middle to upper 80s for Saturday. Then around 90 for Sunday with lower to middle 90s for Labor Day and Tuesday. Our next chance of rain will be for the middle of next week, but the temperatures aren't going to drop too much. It does look like the heat is going to be here to stay beginning Friday. So definitely enjoy the next couple of days if you like the 70s. I mean, we're eventually going to be back in the 70s at some point, probably towards the middle or end of the month. But it's going to be pretty warm for a stretch here. So if you enjoy the heat, enjoy it, because it is going to be we are entering the fall season pretty soon, so the heat is going to slowly fade away. But
most classrooms will be full though.
That
next
is true.
Week in those
that is true. And for the game Saturday, as you saw, it's going to be pretty warm.
All right. CBS Evening News is next. See you in a half hour. News 3 Now at 6.